Hey y'all, it's Ash, your go-to travel advisor and lover of all things all-inclusive. Today, we are going to be diving in live into the top 5 mistakes that people make when booking all-inclusive vacations and how to avoid them, right? As your travel expert, I don't want you making the same mistakes when it comes to travel because I have pretty much seen it all. Whether you're planning your first trip or your 10th, these tips can save you money, stress, and a lot of disappointment. So, everybody wants that pitch perfect vacation, right? They want unlimited drinks, they want ocean views, they want pure relaxation. But if you're not careful, you can end up at the wrong resort, paying for the wrong things that should have been included, or even stranded at the airport. So, we're going to get into the dream, the potential reality of what happens when you don't book it correctly. And then I'm going to show you guys how booking with a travel advisor alone can help match that goal and dream of a beautiful vacation. So, let's talk about mistake number one. Okay, you're going to want to stay to the end on this and make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so you get a lot more tips on how to properly book travel, whether you're booking with me or whether you're booking on your own. I want you guys to not have any kind of errors when it comes to this because you guys spend a lot of money on vacation and it's important that you have the best one. So, starting at number one, choosing the wrong resort type. It is so common that people will go and book a resort because it has great reviews. Okay. There's nothing wrong with having a great review for a resort. We want that. But we also need to keep in mind on what kind of vibe that resort is going to present to you. So don't go to like Breathless Cancun Seoul, was one of mine just booked. Don't go there and expect a quiet vibe. Why? It's a party vibe. That's where people party, right? And think about all inclusive when it comes to adults only. Are you looking for a vibe that has kids? Are you okay with kids being around? Are you going more for like dreams and secrets and the ones that have adult only options? Also, think about a lot of the beach and where it's at on the beach. Make sure it's located on the beach, especially if you're doing all inclusive. And if it's not, make sure the beach is close and make sure it has a very nice pool. So, making sure that you're picking the right resort for your vibe is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make when you're first starting out. Now, number two is checking what's included and what's not. You would be surprised. Unlimited drinks and meals are included, sure. But what about airport transfers? What about room service? What about premium liquor? What if they're giving you, it's included, but they're giving you and they're adding a little bit of water into it, right? I'm just kidding. Some resorts include everything, and others kind of sneak in for those upcharges. I'll give you an example. We were given free opportunities to travel to Fiesta Americana, the resorts in Mexico, and they're great, okay? But when you go there, they don't tell you have to put a certain amount down, and it makes it sound like it's all inclusive, but it's not. You do have to pay for it's inclusive, but you have to pay for the food at the end. It's very confusing, but you end up putting like a large amount down, and you're thinking, no, there's no way I would eat that much. But what they don't tell you is there's like a $16 charge for chicken nuggets, something like that. Okay, so make sure that you're reading the fine print and comparing the packages side by side. If you are choosing the cheapest package for an all inclusive, you are going to get the cheapest room. You're going to get the cheapest flight. You might not even have the availability to get there because all inclusive does not mean that a shuttle is included. You have to verify that there's a shuttle included. And a lot of times, us as travel advisors, we add it for you. And then you guys will come back and be like, well, the price is higher. Yeah, because we're making sure that you get there safely, right? So make sure that when you're going through the packages that it includes what you want. So if you are somebody that's doing the all-inclusive, in certain places, it will look like it's all-inclusive, but it's actually a European plan. A European plan does not include all of the meals. A European plan will include very, very tiny amount, especially like in Hawaii, they have a lot of this. In Europe, they have a lot of this. And then some places like Puerto Rico doesn't do all inclusives, right? But they'll have a European plan and it looks like it's including a lot, but it's not. So also make sure that what's included now for me when I'm doing a booking, when I go through my system, it's going to automatically give me a lot of credits. So resort credits. They also give us make sure like they'll get VIP access on certain bookings. So for me, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the best perks for the best price. So are you going to get the cheapest deal? You can, but that's not what you're going to want when you're on vacation because nothing's going to be included. Okay. Another thing I would like to suggest too is the spa. If you were going there for a spa, you're going there to relax, check how much it is. Check the prices online because some of those spas, like you win, like with me, you'll get a discount at the spa. If I'm going through my supplier, you're more than likely going to get a discount. So that's great, but it can add up very quickly in the spa services, especially even for specialty dining too. Make sure that the restaurants are included in that all inclusive because they might have you pay extra for certain restaurants. Okay. Now, lastly, the hidden cost is what I'm going to hit really hard on for number 2. A lot of resorts, let me explain. Hold on. Start over. Most of resorts have a resort fee. If you go to a hotel nowadays, you have to put a deposit on the room. Why? In case there's incidentals. Okay. You get that one back, right? Now, when you go to a resort, they're going to have a fee for going to that resort. Especially in Mexico, they have a tax now for tourists. So things like that. There are fees that are going to be applied. Now, as travel advisors, I can see the fees. I can tell you what's going to be planned. Sometimes Expedia will tell you, and sometimes they don't. And I would hate for somebody to get there and then they get surprised with $200 or $300 in fees because they can be that expensive. Another thing that you need to look into is gratuities. Sometimes they charge you, sometimes they don't. It just depends on what's included in your package. And then lastly, excursions. Don't put yourself at a resort that you can't do anything except that resort. You will drive yourself crazy unless you stay for only like 3 or 4 days. Fine. But see what's around you for excursions because you might not want to stay at your resort all the time. Okay? Let's go to number 3. Skipping travel insurance. Oh, goodness. This is a big one, especially in these days and times, guys. Sometimes travel is not promised. Sometimes things can just happen. We've seen it, right? So do not skip travel insurance. I know it's going to cost you an extra 100, maybe 200, depending on how many people, but it covers so much. First of all, let's start off right back. Trip cancellations, especially if you are in a group setting, if you are going with other friends, get travel insurance because I've had so many scenarios where I will get to the end of a trip and then one of the people in the group cancel. If that happens, you will get a credit back, or if you pay extra, you can get cash refund. But you will typically get a credit back and you can reuse that deposit or reuse part of what you already paid. Okay. Medical emergencies. Nobody expects anything to happen on vacation, but having travel insurance and having that part included, you need to read the fine print. But as long as it's included, if something happens over there, you're covered. Okay. They will take care of it there because you have insurance, right? So that's important. Last, lost luggage. It can happen, especially if you're going international, especially even if it's a short flight. You would be surprised they can lose luggage. And having travel insurance is going to make sure that you either, get some kind of compensation for it, right? Now, it's a small investment. Honestly, for me, most of the time it starts out at about anywhere from $40 to about $70 per person, depending on if it's a cruise, especially for cruises, do that if you're going through. I know we're talking about all inclusives today, but for cruises, make sure you do that, especially between September, like hurricane season. Same thing for all inclusives. If you're booking somewhere that has the pathway of a hurricane and you're going anywhere between July to about September to October, somebody's texting me, sorry. If you're going from July to October, you're going to want to add travel insurance because you don't want to put yourself in a scenario where you have to go on the trip and there's a hurricane coming, right? So it can save you thousands potentially. It gives you that peace of mind. And like I said, hurricane season, international travel, and especially multi-destinations where the flights might get delayed, canceled, whatever, you want to have that travel insurance as the extra barrier to make sure that you get properly compensated. Forgive me, somebody was knocking on my door there. So, considering all of this, do not skip travel insurance, okay? Um, you can really cost yourself some money if something happens on a trip or before and after. So definitely don't skip on that travel insurance. Number four, oh goodness, if you book on Expedia, they don't include transfers. You always need a transfer or a rental car, or if you're planning, do an Uber. Sometimes that's even effective. You have to have a way to get from the airport to the resort. Expedia does not include that. Sometimes you can call the resort and say, do you guys have a shuttle? That works. If not, pay for the shuttle. You want to make sure you get there. Don't leave yourself stranded at an airport hoping to find, the proper way to get to your resort. A lot of times when you're going international, what happens? You're going to have an unfamiliar location. You might have language barriers if you don't speak the language of the place that you're going. Also, I've seen this happen a lot. No pre-booking means that you're probably going to end up in a taxi or you're going to end up in an Uber, something like that, right? You have a very higher rate for paying to go to your resort. They're going to charge you what they feel is correctly, and there's nothing you can do about that. Another thing is when you're running your card, there's no guarantee that you haven't gotten scammed. And I have seen people get charged like $400 for like a 4-minute taxi ride. So can happen to you. The client interview that I just did in one of my last live streams, that happened to them. They got scammed a long time ago. It didn't happen this time booking with me. But when they did it on their own, they got scammed for a 4-minute taxi ride, $400. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. And you probably won't even know till you get back because your phone probably won't work. Now, along with that is some of the resorts, you guys don't know this, but I know this because I can see it. Some of the resorts are actually really far away from the airport and they don't tell you that. So you're going to pay a lot. And it can also cause you to have a lot of travel time trying to get to the resort because you didn't pre-plan it. So make sure that you're doing the airport transfers because it's going to help with that smooth arrival and making sure that your vacation starts on time and not have all that wasted, right? Last mistake, and I'm going to say it, is not using a travel advisor. Don't worry about any of this. This is what I am here for, okay? I can help you find that perfect match, access the best deals so you can travel confidently at no extra cost. It does not cost me extra to book your vacation. Every time you're booking a vacation, the commission is automatically tacked in. It's there. Whether you are booking through Expedia or whether you're booking directly with the resort, they're paying commission. Why not just pay me the commission you're already paying and let me handle all of this? You don't have to do anything extra outside of that. Tell me what you want. I'll tell you the price. I'll tell you what's included. Book, good, have a great time, right? And if anything happens in between, you don't have to call a 1-800 number and hope for the best. I am here to help with that as well. So your stress-free vacation waits. I have personally vetted over 100 plus resorts that I will give you options for. There's 24/7 support and there's no extra fees for my services. So I suggest highly that you book smarter and travel better. You can go ahead and take a look at my website, travelwithash.net. If you are interested in booking or you're looking to plan a trip and you need some help, feel free to contact me. Comment below. You can contact me on my website, on my contact form, wherever, so I can discuss your dream idea for your vacation or whatever trip you're taking so that you can just enjoy your trip, sip that margarita with no regrets and let me handle the rest. So thank you so much for watching. If you like these tips and you want to get more information when it comes to travel, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will be here for all of your travel needs. Thanks for watching.